Hey everybody, it's the interview queen, Alicia Atout here, and I am super excited to be catching up with Priscilla Kelly. Hello.
Hi, everyone's quarantined right now, so this is like the thing to do, like home interviews, huh? Just like everyone has no choice because they're all stuck home, so you're like, I'm gonna get them while I can.
Yeah, it's one of those strange things too, where over the last 2 weekends, I would have been out and about hosting shows, like doing my in-person stuff, and I
Yeah,
can't. So I was kind of like, what am I going to do? So at this point, you're right. Everyone's free. Why not grab them now?
right. I feel like everyone's like doesn't know what to do with themselves. Like I don't know what to do with myself because like I'm always constantly working and constantly gone, and like for the first few weekends, like I was like, okay, this is nice, relax, stay home, don't have to think and put matches together. But now I'm just like, all right, what do I do now? But I mean, I just got Animal Crossing, so everyone's jumping on that. But yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that because you seem pretty into it already. Like I saw a couple tweets, and when someone starts a game, and then you can tell, like, yeah, they're definitely on that bandwagon. You seem to be on it.
Well, I've actually had every single Animal Crossing they've ever made. Like, I actually still have my GameCube with my original Animal Crossing and everything because it was one of the first console games that I ever had was Animal Crossing. So I kind of grew up with the game. So for me, when it came out, it was a little bit bigger of a deal to me than it was like the average gamer out there, just because I grew up with this game and they're coming out with a new one, and it's been like years I think since they came out with the last one, so it was like
Yeah, I remember being so psyched even when they announced they were making a mobile one because I remember having it on my DS when I was like 6 maybe, and so it was just like you. It was so exciting the fact that, oh my gosh, there's a new one that I'll just invest hundreds of hours into. No biggie.
Yeah, it's definitely like sucked away like all my time. It's like the main reason I got the Switch in the first place was because I knew that this game was coming out, and like otherwise I don't really play any other Switch games. Like I play like Stardew Valley, and that was only to hold me over until like Animal Crossing came out, and then I was like done with it. But yeah. I mean, I like Mario and stuff, but like it's just like timing wise, like I don't really have the time to like get invested in games anymore. Like I have like so many PS4 games that are like the best games of all time that I've never even like started. So I don't know how people find the time to like get sucked into them.
Well, I guess now's the time to find out, since it's probably the only time you'll have, because I know when everything kind of gets back up and running, you're going to be going show to show to show again. So I guess just take the time to enjoy it. It's like one of those silver linings with all the craziness going on.
You're right. Yeah.
Well, of course, to everybody, you're not only known as Priscilla Kelly, but also Hell's favorite harlot. So I was curious, when was the first time you were coined that? Is that something you gave yourself, or is that something that was bestowed upon you?
So like years ago, I was at my home promotion. I was put with a group of guys, and we all had our unique characters. And my character was like the sultry kind of. I don't want to use the word promiscuous, but like my character was very like sultry, and like that was like my power. My strength was like I'm this sultry woman that can like basically like have power over you. And originally, my trainer, which was also the booker of my home promotion, gave me a much more vulgar version of Hell's Favorite Harlot, like a moniker. And when I first went down to Shine and FIP, they were like, "Hey, maybe let's come up with something a little bit more PG and like
let's lighten this up a little."
Yeah, so Hell's Favorite Harlot was born, and but yeah, I mean, like my character's so weird because I feel like I never really explain my character, but I think that's like the joy, because I love characters that aren't thoroughly explained, in the sense that it can be whatever you want to take from it. But a lot of the stuff that I did and a lot of stuff I still do, and I've mentioned it with you before, but like it's not so much like to be this outrageous character, but it's also because I grew up in the strict family, and I grew up being like shamed to be myself.
Right.
Women aren't allowed to have sexuality, blah blah blah. And I basically took this character and I made it like a big like F you to anybody that ever shamed me or wanted to make me feel like I couldn't express myself. And, there's this whole stigma, and this is changing, of course, as the years go on, but like there's always been the stigma that women cannot be sexual beings and that we have to keep it hidden, but to where guys, like, they can go out and like grind and dance around in a towel in a ring, and like that's cool and that's funny. But if a girl does it, she's like a skank or a hoe, and it's like, no, like, why can't we be devious?
Let us have a little bit of fun, guys.
Right.
No, but it's cool because as far as your character goes, like I've seen moments where you are serious in the ring, then you do have that sultry side, and then the next moment you'll be like a total goof just having fun. So I think it's cool that you can play around and you aren't just labeled as one thing, because it gives you more freedom to just have fun with it.
Yeah. And like a lot of my character, it really just comes from like stuff that I have felt or dealt with my whole life, like the glamorous side of my look now with like all the bling and, just this very like what you would call like a very like, stardom kind of look with all the bling and the stuff. Yeah. And it's when I took that, I started dressing that way, not because, oh, it looks cool, it looks badass, but a year ago when my name was all over the place for stupid reasons, I took it as a chance to jump on the opportunity and be like, okay, you guys, everyone wants to trash talk me. Everyone wants to put me out on the internet as this horrible human being that destroyed wrestling, right? There's a billion people that have destroyed wrestling. But I took it as a chance to just like, all right, you guys are talking bad about me, but you are talking about me. So, and I don't call myself this just because this name's kind of already taken, but my character now is basically the fame monster. I'm somebody that took the fame that I was given, good or bad, and I said, screw you guys, I'm a freaking star now, like it or not, and that's who I am. So
I love that.
Yeah.
No, I remember seeing all that stuff, and I was just like, you know what? Love me or hate me, still an obsession. You totally took that little thing and like you just made it and you sparked it into something super cool. And I remember seeing that kind of traction starting to happen again. It's like, I'm so happy. I was really happy to see it.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I was beginning in wrestling, when people were like trying to find their characters and who they wanted to be, everyone would always say the famous thing of like, you got to just throw stuff to the wall and see what sticks. And like, I threw something to the wall and it stuck. And I mean, I think we need more people that aren't so scared of what people are going to think. And I think there's a difference between trying really hard to get attention and get a shock value, and then there's something that's genuine. So like, for example, like what I did, and I've told you this privately in interviews, like I didn't know that was going to blow up. I literally just thought it was going to be funny. And, I think that's the best shock and outrageous moments in wrestling are the ones that come genuinely and the ones that aren't super thought out and the ones that people just do it,
No, I think it definitely stuck with a lot of people. And something I wanted to bring up to you is a couple weeks back, I was interviewing Amy Dumas, and we were talking about the whole kayfabe project. And something that came up is I asked her, who are some females you would just love to have a part of this promotion? And she's like, well, I don't want to name a ton, but I will name one that I have my eyes on. And she mentioned you. So I just wanted to let you know, because I saw some tweets back and forth and stuff, but like she literally like singled you out in a really positive way. So I thought that was super badass.
Yeah, I had no idea that this was a thing until somebody commented on my Instagram and told me. They were like, hey, she gave you a shout out, blah, blah, blah. And so I went, I checked it out, and I'm just thinking, I just thought maybe she was like mentioning me in like a group of girls, and I was like, oh, damn, no, she said that you are the one. And I was like, Darby was like in the room with me when I like watched it, and I was like, there's not a lot of, like, of course, like I've had like such like name people talk about me before in different interviews and whatnot. Of course, there's constantly people talking about you, but I think like for Amy to single me out, it was a little bit of a different thing because it's like this isn't just a woman, but this is a woman that's also faced backlash. This is a woman that's also stepped outside the box and did things regardless of what people would label her and say about her. And in that way, I've always admired her so much, because she wasn't just a girl that would go with the flow. She did things that were considered shameful. She did things that were considered like women shouldn't do that, you know? And I think that's why I like her so much, is her I don't give a F attitude. Like, she just did what she wanted to do, and she was such a badass, and everyone knows that. And for her to, like, you know, mention me the way she did, like, it's just one of those things where, you know, women supporting other women, and at the end of the day, like, that's what everyone needs to be working toward. And like, I think, you know, the women that were speaking badly about me a year ago when things happened, like, the way I see it is a lot of these women did not know me personally, had no idea who I was, and they were just speaking out about a situation and a person they had no idea anything about. And it's like, you women are claiming to support women and women's wrestling and improving the business, but like, not just our business, but the music industry, the acting industry, everything. Like, it's constantly a battle of like, I'm going to support you until I don't think you're worth supporting. Like, and
I see it all the time.
yeah. And, you know, it's one of those things where, like, if you don't know the situation, you don't know the person, you really shouldn't speak on it. You really shouldn't.
No, it really made me so happy when she brought you up. Like, I'm sure you were definitely focusing on Amy, but my response was like, oh my gosh, yes, I can see it. Like, I see how you two mirror each other so much. Almost like paving ways in certain regards and just being different and really not giving a shit about what other people think, which is awesome and really hard to have that quality too. So when she mentioned it, I was like, yes, I have to bring that up because it was cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, especially as women, like, I feel like a lot of guys, like, they'll do stuff like outside of the box all the time, and it's like, okay, whatever. It's just a guy doing guy things. Boys will be boys. But like, when a woman stands outside of her comfort zone, people turn their heads and they notice. When, you know, good or bad, they notice, and they're like, oh, wait a minute. You know, it's just like back. I mean, what is it, like 50 some years ago or something? Like, women weren't allowed to show their ankles in public or something like that. But I'm just saying, you know, like, little things like that, it's not as extreme as it was 50, 60, 100 years ago. But there's still these weird stigmas around women where, like, we're not exactly supposed to do certain things. And if we do, we're kind of shamed for it still. Like, I was just on Instagram watching stupid TikTok videos and stuff, and there was a girl just doing a tutorial on how to tie your shirt up, you know, like you tie a little knot. And the whole comment section was just guys, like, shaming her, saying, oh, this is what thoughts do, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you start to think that we're in a good place in 2020.
And then you just go backwards.
Yeah, there's still so many people, and, like, you know, just even some of my family members, like, they still speak so, like, it just speak of women in such an objective manner, and it's like, when is it gonna change? And, like, you know, there's still problems, not just women, but I mean the LGBTQ community. Like, there's so many problems still. Like, let's just let people enjoy things.
It's one of those things where day by day, fingers crossed it gets better. But, you know, I agree. Just let people kind of have their own vices and things that make them happy. Because if it's not actually infiltrating your life and impacting you negatively, like, why care, you know?
Right.
Well, with these conversations and these interviews, pretty much, like, you know, when I do my sit downs, it's like full research. These have been really casual and just shooting the breeze. But one thing I've been doing is just Googling, just doing a quick search on the person's name and actually seeing what Google questions come up. And the first one, when you Google Priscilla Kelly, it's literally, is Priscilla Kelly a gypsy? So I figured, why not take the Google question that's ridiculous and ask you in this interview?
Well, I see people ask me all the time, are you still a gypsy and all this stuff?
Right.
And it's like, it's so weird to me, because it's like, how do these people not comprehend that, okay, first of all, everyone knows gypsy is technically, like, slang term. Like, you're not supposed to say that. Like, but, like, Romney Chell gypsy, like, that's not a thing that you can just become or be or stop being. Like, it's literally an ethnicity, like white, black, Asian. And I don't know why people can't wrap their heads around that. You know, you can't just stop becoming Asian. You can't just wake up one day and like be like, I'm not gonna be Asian anymore. I'm gonna be Hispanic. Like, you can't do that. And I don't know why people always ask me that. But yeah, no, like, I don't really associate with like a lot of like my family and stuff anymore, just because I don't really have the same beliefs and stuff as they do. Like, I still talk to my immediate family, of course, but like beyond that, like, I just don't have the same beliefs as most of the people in my family. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Still
I figured I'd bring it up so you could set the record straight, because I've seen it being asked, even on your pictures, people comment it, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Since it's like the number one asked thing in relation to her, I was like, let's see what's the answer. It's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, like, I don't know. People ask me the dumbest questions all the time. Like, somebody asked me forever ago if Darby, in a picture of Darby, they asked me if he was the guy from the TV show. And I'm like, does he look like the guy from the show? Like, guys. And then, like, I still get people that will message me asking me if I'm a wrestler. And I'm like, it takes 2 seconds to scroll down my feed and, like, realize what I do, who I'm with. Like, I get really dumb. I think everyone gets dumb questions, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I think, like, my favorite thing in the world is people lately saying that I look like Sasha Banks. And I'm like, huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Like, that one really throws me off.
Seriously? You get, wow, all right. That's a new one for me.
All right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, one thing I did want to kind of end this on is I know how much you love music. You've come out to one of my favorite tracks by the Smiths. So I was wondering, if you could have any band write you some entrance music, who would you absolutely love to do so?
Oh, God. That's, like, a hard question.
I know.
Because it's like, I don't know, like, in a perfect world, the Smiths would give me the rights to use How Soon Is Now, but that'll never happen. That way I could use it on TV if I ever needed to. I mean, of course, you know, like, I'd love for My Chemical Romance to write something similar to, like, Desolation Row from Watchmen. Like, I don't know, either them or I really like this, like, sick band called Ghost Main. Like, I'd love for them to, like, write something, like, insane. I don't know, there's so many different people and bands. Like, yeah, I don't know. Probably either My Chemical Romance or Ghost Main. That'd be the dream right there. Because,
Okay,
like, I wanna be one of those, like, wrestlers that can have, like, bands play them to the ring and stuff. Like, I like that.
yeah, I think that would be pretty incredible. One day down the line, seeing MCR playing you out, like, I would lose my shit. I think anyone would.
Oh my God.
It's one of those hypotheticals that's so exciting to think about for some reason. I don't know. Well,
hopefully, if everything clears up, I'm gonna see them in September and possibly, like, hang out maybe and say what's up, and maybe I'll just be like, hey, yo, guys, since you're back, do you think maybe hook me up with some music?
right, you never know.
They'll be like, who are you again?
It's one of those things that you never know until you ask. So I would definitely just sprinkle it out there.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I really do want to say thank you so much for hopping on here, for taking the time. It's always so lovely whenever I get to see you at shows, and I feel like over the last couple, year and a half of knowing you, whenever I see you more, I get to know more about you. So now I'm glad that everyone watching gets to too.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm the weirdest person. I'm like, people have told me I'm intimidating, but it's just because, like, not intimidating like hot girl over there, but like, I'm like, people think that I'm mean sometimes, but it's just because I'm kind of quiet and, like, I really don't open up to people a lot. It takes a while for me to, like, open up to people, and so yeah, I'm really quiet. So, and I'm really awkward too, but not as awkward as the guy that spilled beer all over my merch a couple weekends ago in Minnesota. So, shout out to that guy.
Ooh, that's always a fun experience.
You getting my vibration from my text messages coming through?
I did just get that one, but it added some ambiance.
You're right.
Well, thank you again for joining
having me.
Absolutely. Everybody, this has been Priscilla Kelly. I'm the interview queen, Alicia Atout. Be sure to check out aliciatout.com for all exclusive interviews and features, and we'll see you next time. Bye.